war going on outside. You in the crib, but the ball outside. I get it on outside. From the dusk to the dawn outside. So in the morning outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawing outside. Cause it's a war outside. My sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, you better be on outside. Cause it's a war outside. I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the ball outside. I get it on outside. That's a definite cannonball wrecking shit. Excellent prime for rock. In the mud, if you ain't feeling this, you call them thug, and that's real. Oh, I get it, cat tie, war, they not of a kind. I get the order that is handy kind, not the one kind. Without a doubt in my mind, I'm finna stop and recline. Anybody that they come against us, they should probably resign. It's a war going on outside, no man is safe from. I hate these niggas throwing shots, but can they take some? Christ says, sell out your garments to get a sword now. I'ma go and sell off these polos to get a full pound. Damn sure it started the war, but I'ma end it, cause it's spiritual war, cause turn carnal any minute. I remember riding back in the days. Window was tinted, but Salaki, I'm done with that carnal shit, I repented. And they bomb proof the booth every time I'm about to go win it. You ain't know this shit, I live for this truth and I'ma defend it. And I get my second wind just as soon these niggas get winded. It's a war going on outside, I'm jumping in it. It's a war going on outside, you in the crib, but the ball outside. I get it on outside, from the dusk to the dawn outside. So in the morning outside, I'm catching wreck when they drawing outside. Cause it's a war outside, my sword drawn outside. This Excalibur, you better be on outside. Cause it's a war outside, I get it on outside. You in the crib, but the ball outside. I get it on outside.
Yeah, nigga, you in the crib, but I'm in the streets where the war at, nigga. Your bitch ass.
In my fallout gear, 762, flip your fucking car out here. No burner, I still break your jaw out here. No fear, if you scared, get a motherfucking pit. Or sit up in the church, you a motherfucking bitch. I give you in the verse what I give you in the clip. It's 32 rounds of fire, it never quit. A lot of fuckery going down, so what's
get out the circle. If you broke that line, and you let up the worst, it's all black person, penny with black dirt. What's like the first time I do? I'm a for that book. I look like a managed this kind of focus. It's going to get a roll. You just know behind them better wall. They say that comes.
Need to send you one more video.
See the bar in his life, the way friends
All right, clap it up. Shalom. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commandant General Yohana. Today is the scripture breakdown class in Killeen, Texas. Today the topic is leaves. We're going to go into leaves today. We're going to help you understand that you gave up the tree so that you can be a part of some leaves. You left the family tree so that you can be a leaf. You know what I'm saying? What they say, be like a leaf and leave. That's what you did. You left the tree for leaves, and you about to get raked up. That's what's about to happen to you. You about to get raked on up, put in a trash bag, and sent out for trash day because you decided to be a leaf and not a tree. And we want to go into that today because, first of all, make sure, can I hear me? Type of 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Okay, we're good to go. Yeah. So, like I said, we're going to go into leaves today. You don't want to be focused on being something that blows with the wind. And that's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Whatever new fad come out, you are in the wind with it. You are a leaf. You are just floating around. They got a new fad. We was wearing they wearing skinny jeans now. Huh? Blacks and Hispanics, you got pants on so tight that you can see how much money you got in your pocket. You can see what you got in your wallet, your phone. You got 2 quarters. You can see the face of the man on the quarter with your pants you got on. Why? Because you're following another man's culture. And then when the culture changes back to bell bottoms, guess what you're going to do? You're going to throw bell bottoms on. And when the culture turns back to baggage of bows, you know what you're going to throw on? Baggage of bows, because you don't have nothing to live by. And that's the problem with our nation. Let me tell you really what this is about. This class today is about, if you don't know who you are, where you come from, what's offered to you, then you'll never be able to fully comprehend the Bible. The entire Bible is about Adam's family. That's what you got to know. Everybody say, we all come from Adam. Yeah, we come from Adam. We all come from Adam because of Noah. That's why we come from Adam. But the Bible is about Adam's family. And we're going to go into Adam's family a little bit today to give you a little understanding of how not to be a leaf. What you want you to be today is a tree planted by the rivers of water. We want you to be solid on how you live, on what you do, on your belief system, because people that are leaves, they don't have anything that they stand on. So this is a stand-on business class right here. That's what this is about. Let's start from Adam's parents. Give me Genesis 1:26. We're gonna go to Adam's family in the world. That's who this is. Adam's family in the world were the people that were created in Genesis 1. Now let me ask you a question. When God created the trees, how many trees did he create? 2? Did he create 2 trees when he said, let us make the trees of the earth? Lost. Nah, he made the apple tree, the orange tree, the pecan tree, the cedar tree, the whatever tree was made from the beginning. The oak tree was made from the beginning. God didn't come back and make more trees. When the Lord made the beast of the field, he made all the dogs at once. He made the hyenas, he made the wolves, he made the pit bulls and the Rottweilers, he made all the felines, he made the cougars, the mountain lions, the lions, the panthers, the jaguars. Did I say panther? Yeah. The tigers. He didn't come back and make more. So when he created male and female, he made all of the people at once. Read what you got.
Sir. This is the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth.
What are men supposed to have dominion over? Everything. All of the animals, the waters, the trees. That's why you make decision on what happens to a tree when you cut it down. That's why you make the decision on what happens to a fish when you pull it out of the water. Fish don't make decision on what to do with you. They don't make sushi out of you in the waters. If you fall over the boat, the only thing that can happen to you is they're gonna eat you. They're not gonna cook you. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna make a decision on what to do with you. Why? Because they are not made in the image of the Lord to make decisions like that. You are made in the Lord's image so that you can have a thought process and be able to think to do something different than what your natural body tells you to do. What your natural flesh tells you to do. Your natural flesh tells you just to eat, consume, and have sex. But the Lord made you in his image with the ability to say, I'm not going to eat that, but I can eat that. Whatever you drop in front of your dog, he going to eat it. That's a fact. I don't care what you take out there. You could take poison and lay it in the bowl, and the dog is going to eat it. Why? Because he's going to do whatever his stomach tells him to do.
Right.
That's what he's going to do. But you can look at this and say, no, I'm not eating that. You have the ability to change your mind. And that's what the Lord gave all mankind the ability to do. Keep going.
Sir. Verse 27. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them.
He created man with the reputation that he has to be able to create, to bring to life, and to destroy. That's what he did. Keep going.
Sir. Verse 28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth.
So the Lord gave the man the authority over the earth. Now we're going to go into the seventh day. What is the seventh day? That is the day where the Lord rested from his work and he done nothing else. A lot of people say the second chapter is a chapter about the first chapter, but it's going more into detail. No. The second chapter is the seventh day where the Lord ended his... Read that.
Sir. The book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made.
He did what?
He ended his work which he had made.
He was done with everything that he was going to do. He ended his work. He ended all the physical labor. Keep going.
Sir. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth.
So what we're hearing right now is about generations. What is a generation? A group of people that are all born and living around the same time. These are the generations of the people that are living at this time. And he's done creating. So what he's about to do is not physical, because he didn't break the Sabbath.
Right.
Right? The Sabbath, the day of rest. What was he able to do on the Sabbath? He was still able to work on the Sabbath. But the work that he did wasn't physical work. It was the work that was spiritual.
Right.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens, and every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up a mist from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground.
So now if you're looking at the earth had no man to till the ground. What does that mean? Nobody. What do you do when you till the ground? Go ahead. Turn the dirt over. Get it prepared for seeds. Now, when you're preparing it for a seed, what are you preparing to do with it? For what? To make it a what? Almost. When you till the ground to turn the dirt over, you're trying to make this area what?
A garden.
A garden. So you got everybody else that's outside. I'm moving too fast. Keep going.
Hold on one concert. But there went up a mist from the earth and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life.
What's the breath of life? Man was already created. But what the Lord did was formed him out of the dust and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. See, when people read this, it sounds to them like he's doing some more work. But because we blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, we understand the slang that he's using. If I say, man, listen, bro, I brought you out the mud. What am I doing? What am I saying about you?
That you got me out of a poor condition and helped me get to a better condition.
I took you from the dust. I brought you out the dust. And what is it saying about? And breathed into him the breath of life. Listen, man, I took you out of the dust, and I put you on game. That's what the Lord did to Adam. The Lord took him out the mud, out the dust, took him out of the field. Because that's where Adam was.
Right.
In the field. With who? With the beast. He was in the field with the beast of the field. That's where he was at. And he brought him out of that, and he made a ground that needed to be tilled, and brought him and put him in a garden. And it wasn't just a garden. Keep reading. He's going to tell you.
Hold on one concert. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden.
He planted a garden eastward in Eden. What is Eden? Eden is the earth. Now he planted this garden eastward in the earth. He gave Adam Israel. He gave Adam our land. This is what you got to understand. This is our family story. And our family story started with our first forefather, who was named Adam. And the sons of Adam were called what? Give me Luke 3.
Oh, sorry.
I mean Luke 3. Give me the end of the chapter. I mean, end of that part. See, when people try to tell you that the Bible is about everybody and about everything and about that's the problem. Because you don't see that this book and these records are for everybody. Are for the children of Israel. So now you are viewing this whole record, this whole Bible from the wrong spirit. Go ahead.
Come on, concert. This is the book of Luke.
Hold on. You finna try to say something?
Real quick. First story, you had brought up the whole point of when Yahweh, we know that the Most High created mankind. So to me, that's right there, like you said, that's the beginning of everything right there. So my question is, why do Christians still today think that the first mankind, woman, and man was Adam and Eve? And we have not even got, we're getting to Adam right now. So mankind has already been created. So I want to know what's that whole, did they miss a whole chapter?
No, we reading right now what they miss. What they miss is they misunderstand chapter 2. They think chapter 2 is a deeper understanding or a stronger breakdown of chapter 1. So God created male and female. The male and female in their mind is Adam and Eve. So now chapter 2 is breaking down that this is how he really did to Adam and Eve when he brought them out the dust. But they don't understand the context because at the top of the chapter, it said he was done with all the work he had done. That was done in the 6th day. This is the next day.
Right.
So that can't be then. This is something new he's doing. Go ahead, read what you got.
Come on, sir. This is the book of Luke, chapter 3. I'm going to start at verse 36. Which was the son of Canaan? Which was the son of Zarxphad? Which was the son of Shem? Which was the son of Noah? Which was the son of Lamech? Which was the son of Methuselah? Which was the son of Enoch? Which was the son of Jared? Which was the son of Mahalalel? Which was the son of Canaan? Which was the son of Enos? Which was the son of Seth? Which was the son of Adam? Which was the son of God?
What was Adam called? What was Adam and his children
The
called?
sons of God.
They were called sons of God. That's what they were called. Adam and his children were sons of God. And that's why you don't understand Genesis 6. Because when the sons of God saw the daughters of men and that they were fair, who are the daughters of men? Those are the people that were created on day 6 that didn't have God's last name. The Lord gave his last name to Adam's children, not the son of men, because they were called the beast of the field. Let's drop down to go back to Genesis. Yes. Drop down to verse 25.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 2, verse 25. And they were both naked, the man and his wife.
The man and the wife were naked. Now, was Adam and Eve walking around in the garden butt naked? Because that's what they show you on all the pictures that they drew. They show you that you was naked. They was naked, walking around in the garden with all that poison ivy, with all them weeds, just rubbing up against them. There wasn't nothing wrong with that. They had leather skin back then, huh? It didn't bother them. That's delicate, soft skin you got. You know, that's different. Adam and Eve had different skin. Nah, they were naked because they were not. They were naked in what?
They were naked, Salaki, sir, and they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed.
That's what made them naked. They were not ashamed. That's slang. They were not ashamed of who they were. They had dignity, pride, and honor. Why? Because they were connected to something bigger than themselves. They had a culture. They had a God. They had something that made them feel like they were somebody because they saw how different they were from everyone else because of the culture that the Lord had gave them. The problem with our people today is you're not connected to a culture.
Right.
So now you're ashamed of who you are. Your culture was brought to you. Your history is started in slavery. That's what you was taught in school. You were taught that your history started with a chain. It started with a boat. So that's who you are. So now who are you? African American. I'm Puerto Rican. I'm Native Indian. I'm Mexican. I'm black. I'm brown. I'm red. That's what you say. Because you're ashamed of who you are. And that's why it's so important to have a culture. Because a culture gives you an identity, which gives you a purpose.
Scripture. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
Why are we so destroyed? Why can't we have something to look into to say, man, this is who we are, this is what we are, and I'm proud of it? Why is it that we stand out on the streets and tell our people, you are the greatest people on the earth and God only loves you, and the only thing they fight us about is God only loving us? Because they can't fathom being that special to where God will pick you and put you in a better predicament.
Right.
They can't fathom where God will pick. Now, another reason they don't understand chapter 2 is because if chapter 2 had to be the God that they believed in, then God would have had to put everybody in the garden. He couldn't have just put Adam and Eve in the garden, because then that means what we say is right. He would have had to put all those people he created in the garden because he loves everybody. But what we're showing you from the beginning is God never loved everybody.
Right.
He has always been very particular about his love and only giving it to us.
Right.
Now let's go to chapter 3, start at verse 1.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
The serpent. Now we got animals involved. Are these animals talking? Is this a talking snake? Is this, because if he's a talking snake, he's the most subtle of what?
Of any beast in the field.
That means the cows are talking, the moose are talking, the lions are talking, because this one is the most slickest out of all the animals. So that means not only is the serpent talking, but the tigers is walking up to Eve too. The leopards is walking up to Adam and talking to him too.
Great.
Go ahead.
No, Salakia, sir. I was just gonna say, when I was raised in Christianity, in church, the preachers would tell us that all the animals talk
before the curse.
Before that Adam sinned,
Yep.
to communicate and talk with us.
Yeah, I heard that
That's what
too.
we was told.
I heard that. That was the curse, because everybody was talking back in the day. All animals, everything was talking. That's how Adam gave them their name. He said, "You come here," and he came. He's like, "Yeah, what's up? I'm gonna call you a donkey." All right, that's clear. Hey, y'all, we donkeys. Hey, everybody. Hey, we the donkeys. That's what they teach. No, that's not it. Give me Ezekiel 34 and 8. Let me help you understand how the Lord talks about us, talks to us, and how we understand the Bible. The Bible just called the serpent the most subtle beast of the field. Right? Read that.
Khan, sir. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 8. As I live, saith the Lord God, surely because my flock became a prey, and my flock became meat to every beast of the field.
My flock became what?
Meat to every beast of the field.
Now, who is his flock? Is the Lord saying he got a group of sheep that he mess with? Who is his flock? Who you gonna say, Judah? Give them both a hand. Yeah, the Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. We are the Lord's flock. And he said we became meat. We became food for every beast of the field. Who are the beasts of the field? Give them a hand. The other nation. They are the beasts of the field. Now, that's what was going on in the garden. That was a serpent that was more subtle than any other beast in the field. Drop down to verse 28.
Come, sir. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 28. And they shall no more be a prey to the heathen.
They should no more be a prey to who?
To the heathen.
If you thought that we were making it up, You thought we were eisegeting the scriptures, the wrong exegetion? Then there you go right there. The Bible just said that we will no more be a prey to the heathen. Keep going.
Come on, sir. Salakia. And we would no more be a prey to the heathen, and neither shall the beasts of the land devour them.
Neither shall we be devoured by the heathen. You see what I'm saying? We will no more be a prey to them. They won't be able to eat off of us when we come back to what? Our family tree, our culture. Right now, we're leaves, and we're just blowing everywhere that the wind blows. You know what we're into? We're Egyptologists. We're Christian. We're Buddhist. We're Catholic, Presbyterian, Mormons, Latter-day Saints, Jehovah's Witness. We everything. Wherever the wind blow, we just go with the wind. Well, that's because these beasts are very conniving in what they deliver to us. And what you don't understand is the reason they have to do this is because they want to be your tree. They want to be a part of you. They want to do what you do. They want to, like, could you imagine you being a king and you look at your slaves and your slaves are faster, stronger, more intelligent than you? And what do you have to tell them every day? That's it. Now imagine if the king's children are faster and stronger than us and we're in the field. Then now what do we teach the king's children? No. You do teach them that, but when you're by yourself and you're talking to them, what do you say to them? Well, you know, we're all the same. You know, you can't feel like you're more important than me. You can't feel like you're just more special. Yeah, I know that your father is the king, but we're all people. We're all the same. You know why you have to do that? Because you have to devalue the strength that I have because you don't have it and you can't get it. It's no way possible. It's no way genetically. It's no way in no form or fashion that you can be like us. So what do you have to do? You have to become a snake. You have to lie to us. You have to switch up you're going to have to make it to where we're like you because we're not like you. And once we start to let that seep in, then now we separate from the tree and we become a leaf. Go ahead.
No, Salaki, sir, if I could, like I noticed, like when I was in school, you had winners and losers. There wasn't they made it like if you lost, you lost. If you won, you won. The winner got the trophy, so on and so forth. But then, like when I started to have children, I noticed in the curriculum in the school system, they would say things like, "We're all winners.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody lost today.
Mm-hmm.
It's only a game. Everybody wins." And to me, it's like they're putting it into the children's minds what you're saying, because the person that has the ability and the gift to win is like you're taking away his glory to make everybody be equal. So the whole idea of equality is like how you said, sir. It's a lie. It's a lie of the oppressor.
It is something that make you not have to work hard. That's why these people are not working hard to practice. I go to basketball games all the time, and they get all their hours in on 2K. That's where they hours at. They talking like 2K. I hoop. I used to play basketball, but I never heard of names of the moves we did. You know what I'm saying? The thing we did, we did the sham guard. You know what I'm saying? We did the Iverson. We did something that but now they got the Euro step. They got all these different names because the game named it. Right. So now they're learning from not actually doing, but being programmed on what it is. We had to learn from going out and doing it. We were rolling on the floor doing the hot sauce. You know what I'm saying? Doing all that, throwing the ball over your head, you know, making you look, all that kind of stuff. Skip to Malou coming down the court. But you know, it was because we were out there doing it. Now, you're not out there doing it. You're being taught what to do. taught how to see things. And that's because a serpent is in your ear telling you and programming you on what's right and what's wrong. So now you're being separated from who you really are. And that's the problem. The problem is, once we can come back to knowing who we are, the world is going to be back in order. Give me 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras, what's that? 5? I mean, you know, our sake.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, give me that. If your children knew this from the womb, you will have a different level of child in your house. Because let me tell you something about blacks and Hispanic children. Listen, these babies are intelligent if you put time into them. Like, if you put time into them, when I was young, I knew how to say I knew the Declaration of Independence. I think I was like 5 years old. I knew the whole Declaration of Independence. I knew a whole chapter in the, what was that, 1 Corinthians 13? I stood up in front of the church and said 13 verses in front of the church. That was my Easter speech or something like that. Because I was being programmed and being put into a mindset of what I should be as a follower of Jesus, right? Can I get that? Read what you got.
Hold on, concert. This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures.
See, this is it right here. Adam was made Lord over all of the Lord's creatures. Keep going.
Come on, concert. Of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
And the people who he chose. See, that's where your brain fog up at. You're going to say, yeah, we all come from Adam. Everybody come from Adam. Yeah, we all do come from Adam. And the people he's chose too. You know what that is? Separation. There's a separation between everybody and the people he chose. Keep going.
Come on, concert. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Thou madest what?
The world for our sake.
Now, let's process that right there. Heaven, earth, and everything above it and underneath it, why was it made? What was it created for? Why was the earth created? Give them a hand. Everything that you see was made for you. To do what?
So like you, sir, to rule over it.
To rule it. Now, you was never taught that. You were never taught that the earth was made for black people to rule it. You were never taught that the earth, the trees, the water, the beasts of the field, and everything in it was made for you to rule. Your father gave you an inheritance, and it's called Eden. And Eden is where you're supposed to rule, the earth. Now, come on. If we knew that growing up, if we knew that the earth was ours, we would have never sold drugs. Our women would never have been promiscuous. Our women would have looked at themselves like, do you know who I am? I'm a daughter of Zion. I don't just talk to anybody and be with anybody. Our men be like, yeah, I can have more than one wife, but I don't want you. Like, nah, I'm good. I seen a video the other day on TikTok that brought joy to my soul. This white lady walked up to this black man, and she was like, slap or kiss or slap.
Oh, right.
And the brother was like, neither, because you ain't my type, and you ugly as hell. And I was like, yes. Like, that was so beautiful, because she thought he was going to either want to slap her behind or give her a kiss because she was a white woman. And you know, she just, everybody likes them. And he put her in her place.
Right.
Why? Because he has some type of integrity in himself to know that no, I'm not finna, you know, I'm not finna mess with you.
Done.
The earth was made for our sake. Keep going.
Verse 55. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. As for the other people, which also come of Adam,
Now here we go. You love Adam. You always talk about we all come from Adam. That's why I went here. I wanted to go here so I can show you that there's a difference between us and you. As for the other people that also come from Adam, thou hast said what?
thou hast said that they are nothing.
They what?
That they are nothing.
God loves them.
That they are nothing.
One day we gonna unify.
That they are nothing.
It's in the Bible. Thou hast said, who is thou? God, the Most High Power, said that all the other people that come from Adam that are not God's chosen people, they are nothing. Now, put that in your kids. The earth and everything you see, just ride around in the car. Sometimes I ride around with my sons, and I be like, look at those trees. Look at that grass. Look over there. Look at that park. All this belongs to you. That's what Mufasa did.
Right.
Mufasa set Simba on top of that hill and said, everything that you see that the sun touch belongs to you. That boy Simba was like, damn, all this belonged to me? As a child, that puts a different type of dignity and integrity and morality in you. That connects you to something that no one can just pluck you out of. That right there, you can't take that out of a child. You call him a nigger, you call him a spick, a wetback, you call him all these things that you want to call him to degrade him. He knows in his heart, man, this earth belongs to me.
Right.
And you don't belong to the Lord.
Right.
Go ahead.
They said that in the Bible. Why do you think they teach the Bible out the Bible in the first place? Because even though you read it in the Old Testament, right, it tells you who these were, it established it all. Then it keeps going, expounding on it in Second Esdras. So they had to get rid of that because you got the misconception, the confusion of Christ and the Paul and the Peter. Paul. Because Paul, if you want to listen to Paul teachings, that's like so that basically if you really read it, if you're not like it says in Second Peter 3:15, like if the ones who are not wide enough,
With Paul.
you will wrestle with his word because you forgetting who it was for and
From the
you
back.
on nothing, man.
And that's my point. Give him a hand. That's my whole point of this class. You reading the Bible and you wrestling with the Bible because the Bible is for the children of Adam.
Right.
And the sons of God lost their name and their reputation when Adam was kicked out of the garden. And then later down the line, this man named Abraham had a son named Isaac, and Isaac had a son named Jacob, and Jacob fought with an angel. He fought with an angel, and he held him, and he said, what to the angel? Bless me. I ain't letting you go till you bless me. And then the angel broke his hip and named him Yahsha'Allah. What does that mean? It means Israel, but what does it mean?
Like it, sir. Prince of the power.
Prince of the power. Who is the power? The Most High is the power. That's who the power is, right? And you are a prince of the Most High. So what is Israel called? What are we? Yeah.
We the sons of God.
We're the sons of God. Just like Adam was the son of God. We got our name back. We lost our reputation under Adam, got it back through Israel. Now we're princes of the power forever. And all this is about is you getting your kingdom and your authority back because we're trying to get back to the garden. That's an excellent scripture, young man D. Give me that scripture, Isaiah 40 and 15. 15 and 17. I was finna go there. He right in my head. Now, we read it in the Apocrypha. You may say that ain't canon. We're gonna go to the canon then. Canon. Read that.
Come on, sir. The book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
Who?
The nations are as a drop of a bucket.
All these other nations are like a drop out of a fetched pail of water. A drop out of the bucket. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. And are counted as the small dust of the balance.
And they are dust. Now, nobody out here loves dust. Anybody love dust? Raise your hand. You love dust. If you got a jar of dust in the house that you've been holding on to for 20 years because you love it, just raise your hand. What does dust make you do? Sneeze. What does sneezing mean that your body is doing? Rejecting. Your body rejects them. God rejects them. They are like the small dust of the balance. Keep going.
Come on, sir. And behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing.
He looks at them like they're a very little thing. They're not important. 17.
All nations before him.
Some nations.
All nations before him are as nothing.
All these nations that is not us, they nothing. Put that in your chest. The only ones he care about is the nation of Israel. And you're going to have to get back to your culture and understand how important you are. That's the most important thing. Your behavior is shifting this world into the third world's war. You coming back, listen, when everybody was on that African movement, trying to get back to Africa, and the third world war wasn't here. It wasn't time. But when we start to push to teach blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that they God's chosen people, and they start to open their eyes up to see their culture and their identity, then the Lord brings the end. The Lord wouldn't bring the end if we were still stagnant. How long we been waiting on our king? Thousands of years, because it wasn't time, because we wasn't in line walking in the right direction. Now we walking down the right way. And we looking for the right people. We didn't try to join the Africans to us. We didn't try to join hands with the white man. We didn't try to join hands with everybody. Now we saying we only gonna focus on blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians. They're like, oh, let's move. They in order. They got it. Let's get it. And ever since then, since 69, the world has been coming to an end. It happened in 1948 when the so-called Jews went to Israel. Now, that ain't when the end came. Now, the end is coming now because we're fighting for what God wanted.
That's right.
The two sticks to come together.
Right.
And that's what we're doing now. That's important. Somebody had a hand up?
I was just going to finish.
Go ahead.
It says, all nations before him are as nothing. They are counted to him less than nothing and vanity. And so, like you, sir,
Go ahead.
like in that Jeremiah 10 dealing with the Christmas, the scripture on, priest on Christmas.
Right.
He said, behold, all the customs of the heathen are vanity. He's saying it's nothing for us to even want to have to desire to be like them on any level because they're useless. They're only made to serve us anyway. They're slave labor.
That's right. Now let's go back to Genesis. Go back to Genesis. And let me just wrap this up. The serpent in the garden was lying to Eve. And in him lying to Eve, the man was weak. It's Adam's fault. He was weak under his woman. He did what his woman told him to do. We fell into decay, got kicked out of our natural habitat, and we are going to go to 3 and Let's start at 17.
Come on, sir. The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 17.
Hold on. Let's start at the woman's curse first. Let's start at
16.
Yeah, 16.
Come on, sir. The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 16. Unto the woman.
Start at 14. That was perfect. We can get the whole story right now. Because what we're going to do now is show you the full picture of what you are living out right now. This curse that the Lord put on the serpent, Eve, and Adam is what you're still seeing right now. Now you need to understand it. Go ahead.
Come, sir. Verse 14. And the Lord God said unto the serpent, because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field.
Keep going.
And upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
So now, what did we find out about dust earlier? Dust is being in a low state. These people are going to always be in a low state. This serpent is going to always be in the dust. Keep going.
Come on, sir. And upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life.
Go ahead.
And I will put enmity between thee and the woman.
I'm going to put hatred between this man and the woman. Keep going.
Come on. And between thy seed and her seed.
Between the serpent seed and the woman's child. Keep going.
Come on. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Her children are going to bruise the people at the top. But the serpent's children are going to hurt her children at the bottom. Now, what you see happening today is our oppressor is falling because he's being exposed for who he really is. The blacks and Hispanics are not exposing what goes on in the hood. They are exposing what's going on in the heads of Hollywood and the heads of the government and the mountains, the people at the top. And the rich constantly oppress the poor. That's what you're seeing happening right now. That serpent that's in the dust, that's wandering in the dust, is our oppressor, the white man. That's who he is. And what he is doing is being stepped on every day because we go out and tell the truth about who he is.
Right.
That's why he hates us so much. Because the Lord put hatred between us and them. Right. He put enmity between the serpent's kids and the woman's kids. That's why people say, y'all act like this is all race. And it is. This is about families trying to rule the earth. What did the serpent want to do to Eve? He wanted Eve out of the garden. He wanted Adam out of the garden, out of their power, out of being on top, because he wanted to get there. And right now, even though we look up to our oppressor, he's still in the dust. And he has grown so big as a serpent that in Revelations, it calls him a red dragon. Now he's not a snake no more. At first he was a small little group of people. Now he's the great red dragon, fire breathing. Why? Why does he breathe fire? Because he got a military that got nukes, missiles, rockets, all type of weaponry. Now he's the great red dragon. And who are they oppressing more than anybody? The Hill, blacks and Hispanics. You the ones that are being the most oppressed on the earth.
Right.
Because the Lord said it was going to happen. Now, your kids need to know that. Keep going.
Come on, sir. Salakia. And unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband.
Listen, I'm going to bring forth, this is your punishment. You know, when horses have babies, they don't need an epidural. You know that, right? They just boo-boo it out. You know what I'm saying? It's like a bowel movement. When a whale have a baby, they just come on out.
Right.
But when you have a baby, it's like, oh, you are at death's door. Every child you have. But the Bible says that through labor, through giving birth, is how you're going to save yourself. You're going to have to go through pain because that pain is going to humble you and bring you to a lower state and make you more submissive to who?
Thy desire shall be to thy husband.
It's supposed to soften you up so that you can be softer for your man. You're supposed to look at that man, and because you're willing to give your life for that man to bring forth that child. That should bring that right there at that bedside. That should be a bond between you and him that should never break. Because you are taking his seed and damn near giving your life for it every time you bring a child forth. That's what the Lord said was going to happen to you because of this curse. That's how he was going to make sure your man was on top of you and you was under him. He was going to have to hurt you to bring forth the thing he wants the most, kids. So now your desire is to him. Your life is in his hands. Keep going.
Come on, sir. And he shall rule over thee.
Y'all gonna vote?
And he shall rule over thee.
It's gonna be a family discussion?
And he shall rule over thee.
That's what God said. Now, the social media and the podcast say, ain't no man gonna be over me. All these people. I was in a room last night on TikTok, and oh my God, they was talking about, women don't need men. And I was like, damn, are you looking at the news?
Right.
Like, you gotta conjure up an invisible man to get rid of a man that's in your face. A man come walk up to you, what do you say, women? Oh, no, I'm good, I got a man. Even if you ain't got a man. Your man ain't even there. But you gotta tell this man that is there that you got a man that's not physically there to get rid of a physical threat that's in your face. That's how much you need a man. And if you think you don't, you're gonna find out real soon.
Right.
Keep going.
Come. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying.
He said, because you listening to your wife and doing what your wife say instead of what I say, listen, what's gonna happen?
Salakia, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake, and in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life.
You want to eat from the ground? You're going to eat from the ground by working hard. You want to feed your family? Guess how you're going to have to feed your family? Keep going.
Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee.
The earth you're going to be working the earth, and when you at work, only thing that's going to be out there while you picking food for your family is thorns and thistles. Your husband goes to work every day and get thorns and thistles. The serpent is talking to him like he's a little boy. And he has to go there to feed you. Because since he was simping under you, now he got to be a servant to the serpent. And you, because he fell under your trap, should submit under him. And he gotta go and deal with him and deal with you. Now, this is painful to read because it's the life you live right now. And the only way you're gonna get out of it is to come back to the tree. Come back to your culture. Keep going.
Come on, sir. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field, and in the sweat of thy face.
In the air condition.
In the sweat of thy face.
Sitting and comfortable with somebody fanning you like on Coming to America.
And in the sweat of thy face shall thou eat bread.
Stop right there. This is my question. What is God doing to Adam right now? Sis? Yeah. But what is he doing to them right now? He's cursing them. He's cursing them. So before the curse, what was life like? Give me that video.
Come, sir.
Let me show you. Let me show you what life was like before the curse. And this is the thing that you need to know. This is what we're working for to getting back. Getting in this mindset. The only reason you're not in this mindset now is because you didn't even know this was a mindset. You've always been taught that if you want to have a good life, what do you got to do? You want a good life, what you got to do to get it? Got to work what? Work hard. Damn, that hurt.
She fired that while I put on the set.
So when you hear George Bush say, George Bush Sr. say, sacrifice, hard work, this and that, all of that comes from the philosophy of worshiping Satan. For years, you thought, man, you can accomplish anything if you work hard. You work hard. The Lord did not make us to work hard. He made the earth to function for us to work not hard, but easy. You ain't supposed to have to work hard. You got to work hard because you're in captivity under this beast.
Right.
But you wouldn't work hard if you wasn't under this beast. If all the resources weren't being drawn to him, you would have everything you need. You wouldn't have to work hard.
Right.
In our empire, in the ancient days, we didn't even work in the wintertime. A lot of people don't know that. Right now, you see out the middle of winter, the crops are down, the animals are grazing. All you had to do in the wintertime was make sure your animals had food and water. But you already brought in everything. That's why you had the whole harvest celebration. You brought in everything. So you wasn't out there all winter in the cold trying to farm and trying to work and trying to do a bunch of things. The Lord built this earth to be a paradise.
Right.
Satan wants to draw the world into one world order and have everybody serve him while he kill off who he wants. While he and so when you hear George,
so the Lord made this world to be a paradise for who? For us. That's why. This earth was made to be your paradise. And because of sin, now it is your hell. It is your captivity. That's what you need to know. You want to know why it's so important to come back to your culture? Because that's the only way out of hell.
Right.
Back to paradise. That's the only way. You're going to have to come back to the tree. The tree of life. The thing that we should have never left from. You know what we wanted to find out? We wanted more information. We wanted more knowledge. So you know what we did? We found out about more knowledge. He only wanted us to know about the tree of good. But the serpent came and said, yeah, but you need to look at this. You need to look at this evil too. You don't know nothing about evil. See, if you knew about evil, then you would be like God. And she was like, yeah, see, he trying to hold me back. He trying to hold me back from getting this knowledge and being more educated than him. And she was like, baby, we need to go over here and see what they in there doing with the dashikis. And he like, shit, all right. All right, baby, let's go over here to the mosque and see what they in there doing with the mosque. And he's like, all right. Baby, we need to put a Christmas tree up in the house and we need to eat this because we need to see what it's like. And Adam was like, all right, cool. And then the Lord was like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, oh, shit. He coming. Oh, man. And he come and see them, and they got dashikis on, they got on unks, they got crosses around their neck. And he like, what the hell you got on? And he's like, we covered ourselves because we was naked and we was ashamed. How did you know that you were naked? Who told you that? Who told you that what you had you naked? So now how did he have to cover them? He had to put leather on them. They covered themselves in leaves. In the culture of the trees round about the garden. But now you had to cover yourself in the skin of dead animals, in something that had to be sacrificed for you because you were so ignorant and weak. That's the problem, man. If you want to get back to paradise, you got to go through hell. That's what you got to do. You got to go through hell, but you got to go and connect yourself back to the culture, back to the tree. Where we at? We was holding something?
We were still in that Genesis 3, sir. The sweat thy face, to eat thy bread with the sweat of thy face.
And see, this is what makes Christ's death so beautiful. Because even when the Lord gave us our culture to follow, we wasn't following it, which was doing what to the Lord?
Pissing them off.
Angering him more. Because he kept trying to get us back to the garden. We had the garden. We got the garden under David. We got back in the land, and then Solomon. And then Rehoboam and Jeroboam. And we just kept falling. We just kept falling and trying to make our way back to the garden and trying to make our way back. And the Lord was like, nah, I'm done with you. I done gave you chance after chance after chance. Then our king shows up. And he shows us how to be like the Most High. And he shows us that we reading the law. We got the law of Moses. Here go the law of Moses right here. He say, thou shalt not commit adultery. He say, you have heard that it was said that thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say, if you see a woman and you have lust in your heart, then you commit adultery. Was Christ making it easier? What was he doing? He was increasing the law. He was making the law. See, the law physically says that you commit adultery if you sleep with another man's wife. Christ said, nah, sleeping with her ain't the sin no more. I'm taking y'all on another level. Now, if you look at her too long, that's the sin. They like, dang. Everything Christ said was so deep that the 5,000 left. They stopped following him. What did they say? This is such a hard saying.
Right.
Christ didn't make it easier. Who can receive this saying? It's so hard to receive. Why? Because this life that was prescribed for us to live is not easy to do. And if you go to church and they trying to teach you to follow Christ in an easy way, they are keeping you out the garden. They keeping you away from the tree. Because following Christ is hard. Following the Most High is hard because he wouldn't have had to die if it was easy. If it was something that we could do without him, he wouldn't have had to die. So now that he's died, now our job is to live for him. He gave his life, now we live in his stead. Now, that's the life you live now. Because your crown has been stripped off your head and given to everybody else. Give me Lamentations 5. Go ahead.
So basically, like, teach the Israelites how to stand on business. Like, if we're trying to take the shortcut,
Yeah.
adultery is sleeping with a man's wife.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? If you get the freaking whatever, you can be taking all type of stuff you want to do to that man's wife.
Mm-hmm.
All you say is, I ain't gotta sleep with her.
That's it.
So he said, you think y'all split.
Yeah.
Guess what? I got better for you. Don't even, you not even woman, you heard? And that's where that scripture where it say don't what's that word they use with the start with a C of another man's wife.
Don't sit with another man's wife.
Covet another man's wife. Right. Listen, what you saying heavy, because let me tell you why it's so heavy, because coveting is something that's done in your head. He is stopping the demon before you act on it. That's what Christ did. Christ gave you something so you wouldn't be a sinner, because if you followed the law by the letter, then you would still sin. You wouldn't sin today, but you would sin eventually, because now it's you got a way to do it. You know what I'm saying? First time you see it, you're gonna sit there all day and look at this sister all day and just like, damn, he ain't doing. See, he ain't hitting that right. I could tell. See how mad she is. He ain't hitting that right. Nope. Sure ain't. Hey, I ain't saying it. I ain't doing that wrong. I ain't sleeping with her. And eventually, you're gonna see her crying one day. Hey, sis, what's wrong, sis? You all right? But if you would have fought it in your mind to say, I can't even look at her, you would never put yourself in that position. And that's how he did with all the laws. He increased your burden on righteousness. Not made it easier. People think the Old Testament is hard, the New Testament is easier. No. The Old Testament is hard, the New Testament is insane. It is way harder. That's why he didn't have a lot of followers. Because who could do this? It's harder to follow Christ. That's the part you're missing. All right, let's go to Lamentations 5. We got that? Let's start at 1.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 1. Remember, O Lord, what has come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Our inheritance is turned to strangers.
Our land has been given to another nation. Go ahead.
Come on, sir. Our houses to aliens.
And our homes are given to aliens. Now, listen at that. We're looking at right now where the Hispanics are coming over here to their land and treat it like, what do they call? What kind of aliens? Illegal. They're not just aliens. They're illegal aliens. They are wrong for just showing up. They're illegal. They walk to the door, they are fed charge. They're illegal. Come on, now. Keep going.
Sir, we are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We have drunken our water for money.
We've done what?
Drunken our water for money.
See, that's the worst part about this. The worst part about this is because the heathen are ruling over us, like we heard earlier, that the flock became a prey to every beast of the field. We became meat to them. They eat off of us. Now, how do you get water?
Pay for it, sir.
Gotta buy it. You gotta go and buy water that come out the ground for free. That's a curse, huh? We've drunken our water for money. Keep going.
Sir, our wood is sold unto us.
Our what?
Our wood is sold unto us.
The trees, the wood is free outside. You should just get an axe, cut the tree down, and take the wood and chop it up and put it in your backyard. Now you got to go to the corner store and buy wood. Your wood is sold to you when all you need is an axe. You can't collect rainwater, and you can't go in the forest and cut down trees because those are federal offenses. Do you understand? That is a curse. Keep going.
Our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest.
Our necks are under persecution, and we labor and we have no rest, no place to lay our head. We constantly work. You work 7 sevens. You work all day, all night. All you do is work. How much money you got saved? Who got 100,000 in the bank? Who got 200,000? You work every day. You work day and night. How much money you got saved? None, huh? I know. Because you work just enough to work. You work just enough to get up and go to work again. Go ahead. You working just to survive. That's it. Keep going.
Come, sir. We have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread.
Just we've given them all the riches just so we can be satisfied with crumbs. We can be satisfied with bread. They having parties.
Right.
They got Epstein's Island.
Good night.
They eating big. They eating so big. They eating babies.
Golly.
They eating people out.
Yikes.
Salakia. And you over there making syrup sandwiches, ketchup sandwiches, mayonnaise sandwiches, grilled cheese sandwiches. Ain't got nothing. Wish sandwiches. That's what you eating out. You giving all your back, your spine to these people just so you can just have some bread. So you buy some flour. Keep going. Go ahead, out. That's it. That's what Steve Harvey said. Steve Harvey said, this ain't the black and white game, this the money game. It's all about the bread. Well, all right. That's you. Keep going.
Come on, sir. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquity.
Now, we carry the iniquities of our father because it's just a cycle that's going over and over and over again. Keep going.
Come, sir. Servants have ruled over us. Servants have ruled over us. There is none that doth deliver us out of their hand.
There's nobody to free us. Martin Luther King couldn't free us. Malcolm X couldn't free us. Nat Turner couldn't free us. Nobody. Dr. Sebi. Listen, man, them damn asparagus can't save your life out. It ain't nothing they could do out. Can't nobody save you from the punishment that the Lord has on you because of you separating from who you supposed to be. Go ahead.
Come. We get our bread with the peril of our lives because of the sword of the wilderness.
Yikes. We got our bread with in peril for our lives. We barely got bread. We had to hit a lick to get some money. In peril of our lives. We had to kick though somebody to get some bread. Go ahead.
Or Salaki, sir, just having to work like midnight shift. I seen a TikTok video. It was brothers working like overnight, and sisters, they falling asleep at the machine. They're machine operators. They falling asleep at the machines, trying to stay up. It's like 3 a.m. High blood pressure from that. Lack of sleep, lack of vitamin D. Creating all types of other diseases, you know what I'm saying? Heart problem, heart failure, diabetes, different things, because now you're eating bad because you eat at the wrong times at night, and you're trying to get bread at the peril of your life. Yep. You could lose your life just trying to work a particular shift because our oppressor wants the money coming in and us slaving 24/7.
Give me that video, the white man.
Yes, sir.
It's a perfect segue right into my video.
Yes, sir.
Because what I'm finna show you in this video is what we think is good. We look at certain things like, oh man, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, I appreciate you, Walmart, for giving me this opportunity to work for you day and night, sun up to sundown, from can't see to can't see. Thank you. And you're so happy with your slavery. You thank the Lord for your slavery when you was not made to be a slave. Your slaves are making you a slave. Right. That's the problem. Right? Watch this video right here. Well, sis say peanut butter and banana.
If your name's Brandon and you're from the Shreveport area, you don't know me, but you put me down as a reference for that equipment operating job. I'm assuming you got your numbers mixed up. But I just need you to know, dog. I went to war for you. Stood on all 10, son. You probably gonna get that job. Because I let them know you can run anything from a shovel to a traco, to run the job, to put him in the office, clean the toilets, it don't matter. I told them how you know how to weld. Hey, look here for a minute. If your name's Brandon,
Let's go.
and you're from the Shreveport area, you don't know me. But you put me down as a reference for that equipment operating job. I'm assuming you got your numbers mixed up. But I just need you to know, dog. I went to war for you. Stood on all 10, son. You probably gonna get that job. Because I let them know you can run anything from a shovel to a traco, to run the job, to put him in the office, clean the toilets, it don't matter. I told them how you know how to weld, electrician, certified plumber, jack of all trades, man. I told him how you don't take vacation, you got to kick him off location. Told him how only Christmas gift you need, come to work. Brandon, that boy ain't seen his kids since they was born, 10 years old. All he does, work. Put in all the overtime. Told him that you gonna bankrupt the company, how much they's going to pay you. So, told him if I had 2 of you, 2 of Brandon, send the rest of the boys home, don't need them. So just saying, dog, when it comes time to them checks, just remember your boy, all right?
That's how America was built. Just like that. 2 of you. 2 of you, Brandon. 2 Brandons built America out. Why? Because you got to do all that to feed your family. Wipe the toilet, be a welder, be a mechanic, wipe the roof off, wipe off the floor. You got to be able to do everything. You got to be a mechanic, engineer. You got to be a doctor and a lawyer. You got to be everything just to bring home bread.
Like Officer Capiar out of San Antonio, he said our oppressors they eat steaks covered in gold.
Yep, they do. They got gold covered burgers in Vegas. Remember we went to that spot? They had gold covered burger patties in Vegas. I think the burger was like $180 or something like that. I was like, man, I wish I would. So now you're gonna have glittery golden dookie. That's where they at. That's where they at with it. They don't know what to do with. They don't know what to do with the money out. And people will look like, man, he putting you on. He's just making you more slave. And it's in your spirit to think that that's the way we gotta live. You gotta work hard. When the earth was made for you, it was made to just give you what you need out of it. Go ahead.
He said he ain't seen his child in 10 years. He worked so much.
Yep.
He's basically saying you gotta work your behind so hard to the point where you're gonna make your child become 10. You're not no celebrity pick a holiday. You gotta make they Easter, Thanksgiving. You out there slaving your butt off like he just said, just to bring food for them to eat.
Yeah, that's not our culture.
Good night.
Working hard like that ain't Black Hispanic culture. Right. We hard workers, but that ain't why God made us. God didn't make us to be that. God made us to rule the earth.
Right.
I'm not trying to tell you that you shouldn't have no work, you shouldn't make no money. I'm trying to tell you that ain't why God made you. God didn't make you to be a slave. He made everyone else to be your slave.
That's right.
That's what they was made for. Teach your kids that. Go ahead.
So, like you said, if I could, just to add to Officer Karab's point, I watched a TikTok video where it was a sister, and she was talking about that the definition of deadbeat dad needs to be broadened. And she said a lot of these dads, because they're on child support and the child support check is coming out of their check, and they think because they see their kids, 2 weekends out the month, that they're not deadbeat daddies. She was like, yeah, the government's taking the money out, and you see them two weekends out the month, but you're still a deadbeat because you're not really being a real father, and you're not putting the time in. And I thought to myself, I said, man, it's heavy, because the reason why he's in that position is because you're not with him as his woman anymore. So now he has to accommodate for the situation, and he's been forced into the situation.
Yeah, he got to come over there and see your boyfriend and his drawers around his kids to be a good daddy. He got to come over there and see your man walking around in his drawers, and now he got to, be happy to come over there and sit in the house with you and your man. And
Or Salaki, sir, or even having to go pick his kid up on their terms or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Share the same space. You know what I'm saying? Y'all both at the games. You, the kids, her husband. And now the kids having to process all that. But the idea that she said that you're still a deadbeat when you're even though you're under the thumb of the oppressor and you're doing what you got to do, you're still not a man. You're still not a father. And when I heard that, I was just like, man, that's heavy, because you're out there working to get this bread to so-called take care of your child, but even in their eyes, you doing that and getting that bread, you're still not taking care of your child. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a bottomless pit.
yeah, because they have a mind like the beast. They have a mind to devour the flock. That's what that mind is. Go ahead.
So, Lord be Ishmael.
Hmm.
Yeah, because he sent him, he sent Ishmael and had no.
Yep, that's true.
Ishmael was nowhere around.
You know, it's all forever. Huh? Give him a hand. Guys, Karar messed up. That's why he put that in his chest.
Yeah.
Real talk. Dude. Yeah, that's gonna boy. Negro gonna be start saying that. I'm a son of Abraham.
Real talk.
I ain't gotta pay no child support. Let me get
It's like you said, verse.
started. Go ahead, read verse 11.
Yes, sir. This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 11. They ravished the women in Zion and the maids in the cities of Judah. Princes are hanged up by their hand. The faces of elders were not honored. They took the young men to grind, and the children fell under the wood.
Your men are not being honored. Your elders are not being honored. You are, as a nation, as an entire family, being destroyed. Keep going. Stop at 16.
Yes, sir. The elders have ceased from the gate, the young men from their music.
That's crazy. The elders don't come outside and tell the kids what to do no more. Back in the day, old people used to sit on the porch and just tell, and you can get checked by anybody. You be way up the street, somebody telling you what to do. And you better do it too. She gonna whoop your butt and walk you down the street to your house, and you gonna get another whooping. That's the elders don't do that no more, because the mama's like, don't say nothing to my child. Don't talk to my child like that, this and this and that, because we're not a family anymore. We're all individuals. And that's what happens to you when you separate from your culture. You don't look at the collective no more. You only look at your individual. That's why other nations don't have the problems that we have in our families and our communities. Give me that. Give me that article.
Yes, sir.
Let's read that article real quick. You can just read it. It'd probably be faster to do it like that.
Donald McCon, this is from the Santa Maria Times. How does culture affect our behavior? Culture is a belief about ethics, behaviors, and values that are held by a majority of people within a society.
Mm-hmm.
The culture of which we are a part impacts our identity and even our beliefs about the nature of life.
Our culture that we're a part of, it helps you with your identity and what life is about. So now you grow up with no culture. What's your identity, and what's your mission in life? You don't know. You don't have a ground to build a foundation on. Keep going.
Concert. The type of culture, either individualistic or collective, into which a person is born, affects and influences what that person believes and how that person behaves. For example, someone growing up in a tight collective culture where rules are strongly enforced does not support individualistic thought or behavior.
Somebody that is raised up around their family and in their culture, they don't have individualistic behavior. They don't think about themselves. That's why, like Hispanic brothers and sisters, they They buy a house and they put 4 families in this one house. I got a Hispanic partner that I grew up with, and I'll never forget this. The first 3 months of the month, everybody in the house's check went to that family in the king size room. The next 3 months, all the 4 families, the man and the woman, they checks went to the family in the second room. The next 3 months, the family in the next room. The next 3 months, the family in the next room. And they did this over and over again. And then next I started seeing trucks popping up in their yard. I started seeing more cars popping up. Wow. Then they converted the garage into a 2-bedroom. They put a wall up in the middle of the garage. So now this is a 6-bedroom house. They paid their house off. Everybody had trucks and cars, and they all were able to save money because they didn't only just have their check and their wife's check. They had their brother check, his wife, the other brother check, his wife, all this. So now you making $20,000 a month. You making 12 to 20. You making anywhere between $20,000 and $30,000 a month for 3 months. That's what you're doing. Now they buy a house around the corner. They go get other people, other family members, put them in the house, and they do the same cycle. They put each other on. They help each other out. We don't think like that. But then we get mad at our Hispanic brothers because they got this and they got that, and they not our people because they got grocery stores and they got this. They got more brotherhood than we got.
That's right.
That's what they got. They got brotherhood and sisterhood, and that's what we need to take something out of their book.
Right.
We need to take that and put it in our family, but you don't want to do that because you want to get your dream house. That individualistic mindset that you have is the reason we're at the bottom.
Right.
Keep reading.
Come on, sir.
As soon as your child turns 18, you first thing you try to do is put them out. It's 40-year-old East Indians that still stay with their mama and their dad, making 6 figures from their job. Not paying no rent. They ain't renting out no room. They ain't doing nothing. All their money going in their pocket. They saving their bread up. You ask an East Indian how much money he got in his account, he gonna say $500,000 like he broke. About $500,000. Because they're not pushed out. Go ahead.
And Salaki, sir, and then the heavy part is that when we push our children out of 18, and then they go and they try to make it on their own, right? And they go through they hell and have to taste the evil. Mm-hmm. Then the parents get old and nobody's there to take care of them. Mm-hmm. The parents are dying alone in their beds. I know my grandmother. She was in a what they call them old folks assisted living home. She fell and broke her leg and she died in the apartment. They didn't even find her till like 2 days later. Mm. So even in the assisted living, they're not even taking care of the people like that. But they put in we push everybody away from each other. And it's Salaki, so if I could, we did Sabbath service and Isaac was living with his mama. She had passed, but he was 40 years old. He was still living in her tent as a 40-year-old man.
Yep,
and right now, black men get criticized for saying, "Oh, you still live with your mama." Right. You're not a real man.
Yep.
Like who put that into our heads to go out into the field, to go slave?
The serpent. Yeah, right. That's who did it. Because he's the most subtle beast of the field. Keep going.
Sir. However, persons who are raised in a loose, individualistic culture have more latitude in how they behave and what they believe. Loose cultures are more prominent in Western societies like America. These cultures are based on the belief that a person's life belongs to that person, which is in alignment with the founding fathers' Bill of Rights. Wow, that's heavy, man. Good night, Kevin.
The next verse, the next paragraph, and we're going to be done with this.
Yes, sir. Collective cultures believe a person's first obligation is to society, and they must sacrifice their needs to benefit the greater good. When rules of thought and behavior are more rigid, it is a collective society.
That's what our culture is. Our culture is about having a collective society where we all come together, we work together, we build together. Other cultures, Western society cultures, the white man's culture, is for you to be an individual. That's why in your Christianity, in your white Western Christianity, who do you have a relationship with? What kind of relationship? A personal relationship with Jesus. Because that's what Western society teach, an individualistic culture. So it doesn't matter, it don't matter what you do, it matters what I do. But in the Bible, it matters what all of us do. The entire nation of Israel went to war and men died because one man took garments and stuffed them under his tent. One man. Because what happens to all of us matters for all of us because we are one family. We are suffering for the crimes of Adam right now. And we just keep suffering over and over because we haven't fixed it. What are we going to do? We're going to have to fix it. Go ahead. Good day, one. Mm, yeah.
Right. Because it's like you don't know how this thing on until you like come to the truth. Because I know for a person like me, I say like I used to down brothers never worked for. Like I was a work you gotta go talk to them. Brothers that drive to be a hard working slave.
Right.
And you are, and you put that just like with Steve Harvey. He said he worked. I didn't sleep. I said I slept in the car because y'all lazy, y'all lazy. And he put us on this event and was also so decap. He brought out the serpent. The serpent was the woman. The only reason why we kind of moved out of 18. Give us a good job. Because women don't want a man living with their people.
Right, right.
Women don't want a man that's working at McDonald's.
Damn.
We do everything because the serpent is telling the woman.
Yep.
It's
That heavy.
Yeah, give him a hand. Give him a hand. Now that was deep.
And it's like, if I could, just like Cap was bringing out, no other culture does this. The East Indians, you'll see the great great grandmother, the grandmother, the mother, the babies, they all in the same house, they
Yep.
all eating together, and they just and then when the grandmother's taken care of, because they're living there with the family. Nobody feels like they're encroaching on our space. We're the only ones that have this thing taught to us that the woman got to be an independent, the man need to get out there and get it set up. And then what the heavy part is, we in a trick bag because she becomes independent, we get out there and try to get it, and then we still don't get along.
You know what's crazy? You don't get a reward for doing things by yourself. It ain't like when you die on your tombstone, it say this person did everything by themselves. They bought a house by themselves. They bought a car by themselves. They did everything on their own. You bought your house by yourself. That's cool. A man and a woman bought their house by themselves. I mean, together, it's the same thing. Nobody gonna pat you on the back for that. And that's the problem. You're trying to join this culture and this civilization when it is giving you everything you need to destroy you. That's all. That's the only reason it's doing it. It's just to destroy you and to hold you down. Go ahead. Start it on.
We'll take the punishment with all of us, right? But we want to have the set
14. Right. Yep. We want to have success for ourselves, by ourselves, but we're being punished together. We're being punished together. Yeah.
But guess what? People that
Yeah.
gotta go, man. That's crazy.
Go ahead and read that verse. 14.
The elders ceased from the gate, the young men from their music.
See, the music that we used to make back in the day was glorious music. It was about how glorious our nation was, how we was, that's why David said, I'm not finna be making no music and my men ain't finna be out. We hung our harps on the gate. We hung our harps up because we ain't making no music. What we gonna sing about?
Sing for Babylon.
We gonna sing about how we like being slaves? And what are you singing about? You know what that boy say? I'm gonna put my thumb in the butt. That's what you singing about. You singing about all this type of sexual deviance, all this drugs, all this my ops, about unaliving your brothers and your sisters. I ain't never heard not one song about the KKK being unalive. Ain't not one of these one hardcore rappers didn't say nothing about slavery but everybody talks about the nigga that stay on the street with them that they don't like. That's the problem. What you got? Yeah. It's another one?
You just did the Lord. Right here.
Most High in Christ. I ain't seen this one. See? And that's the problem. We ain't doing none of that. We ain't saying none of that. We ain't trying to put our mind on nothing. Our mind is on whatever they tell us to put our mind on. Hating each other, fighting against each other, being enemies to each other. Now, we the only ops we got. My op is a black man or a Mexican, not the oppressor. Go ahead.
I hear so much rap songs and so much cats running about they ops, and they ops. But I'm waiting to see when are we our people going to begin to say this man is our ops. Like this cat was so heavy. These brothers that freed Levi up was so heavy. That's why they got Levi free. Like you said earlier, it wasn't no damn voodoo. They got free because the brothers who was in charge were wise men, wise warriors, and they knew how to deal with an enemy. They knew how to deal with the real ops that had them in chains. Like you know how to deal with just the ops on your block, which you don't. You do a terrible job with that. I'm looking for the day. I hear so much.
Most High in Christ. Damn right. Most High in Christ. Read verse 15.
Verse 15. The joy of our heart is ceased. Our dance is turned into mourning.
Listen, man, that's what our dances are. Like the Native Indians, you don't see them in the club turning up. No. What they doing? They dancing around the fire crying. Oh. They crying over everything that's been taken from them. Our dance has turned into mourning. Our dance, we don't have anything. And anybody that's dancing and rejoicing and happy in hell is asleep. Is confused. Keep going.
Come on, sir. The crown is fallen from our head. Woe unto us that we have sinned.
Our crown has fallen from our head. Our crowns, it fell from our head when Adam fell. We're trying to get our crowns back. We're trying to raise up men and women that understand the importance of the crown we fighting for. Now, it may not be you, but like our king said, he who has an ear, let them hear. We ain't out here giving out flyers to everybody. We ain't out here saying, hey, you over there. No, you want to learn? We're going to teach you. Right. If you don't want to learn, we're going to let you do what you want to do.
That's right.
You don't have to believe the Hispanics are God's chosen people.
Right.
You can keep doing whatever you want to do. Do you believe that God loves everybody? You don't come in on the Christian church. You don't go stand in front of a Christian church and argue with the pastor. Don't come argue with us. Just keep walking. We're going to find out very soon who's right. Because all these other nations, they steal your culture and like they frown upon you for your culture. But then they go and do your culture at home, in the hood, get millions of views off of being you, but then tell you that you're too ghetto and they kick you out. Get out my business. Don't come around. Cause don't come around. Don't do this. Don't do that. But then they go and act like you. Play this video. Now tell me who is these people right here.
I said I know you understand you've been through you.
Press pause. This one was special. See, now you think that's Issachar, don't you? You think that's Issachar. That's Moab. Damn. That's the Asians. The Jabberwockies, all them boys bad. They bad. I ain't gonna lie. But they got it from us. And everybody look at them like they the pinnacle of dancing. Look at these. Come finish the video.
Special to me. Is it just my imagination killing me? Yeah, yeah. All I ever want is you. I just got to have you. Now all I really want is you.
I can't make it no more. I can't take it no more. I need you in my life to show, my wife to show. No turning back, it's on cracking, pure satisfaction. Girl, that's what's happening.
I appropriate game, you know my name. Abstract hits, then them bad times split. A man need a lady, no matter the kind. A diamond shining like you know it's hard to find.
Time brings change and change brings time. My nephew wants you cause you so fine.
A woman choose a man is a real motif. Make your choice, cause me and Ray,
You know what I should have did? I should have had a video of the Native Americans doing that. Right. The Native Americans do the same exact thing. When they be in circle doing their dances, when they have powwows, they dance exactly like that. Exactly like that. Then I should have had a black men doing it. Yeah. Then I should have had like our culture is the most beautiful thing on this earth. We the most charismatic people on the face of this earth out. And everybody want to be like us, but the problem is we don't want to be like us. Right. We want to be like them. So we get that up and throw on a suit and try to be like them and appropriate to who they want us to be while they get famous and get rich off of being us.
Yes,
right. And you know why this so biblical though? Because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Lot Abraham relative, correct? Lot Abraham was relative, correct? Mm-hmm. The scriptures state that he had sex with his daughters and they became Ammon and Moab. Mm-hmm. So it's only naturally right why we say them boys are bad, because they are basically what they call distant relatives or whatever the case may be. They're not the chosen ones, but they're distant relatives. So that is why they can imitate that so well. Because if you want to look at it, that's why they get all their swag from, goof from, because they can take it so easily because of the simple fact that they have ancestral relations to us in a way. You heard me? Hey.
No, it's like if I could, but the heavy part is that nothing that the Japanese make, nothing that the Chinese make, nothing that the Africans make spreads throughout the earth and with popularity. It's only what blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians create, and then they take it from us, right? But then they spit on us and call us trash, you know. And that's why, you know, our king said, if the salt has lost its savor, what's it good for but to be trodden under by the foot of men? We get stepped on, but then they take our flavor and our salt and try to enhance themselves and their reputation. Like,
I was a scripture I was about to pull. I ain't got to pull it now. I ain't got to pull it now because you just said it. Let me get Psalms 121. I'm gonna wrap it up with this. We do?
Yeah.
I don't think I got time.
It's one for brothers.
Okay. Dang. I wish I knew I would have cut it off a little earlier. Yeah, Psalms 121.
This is the book of Psalms. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 121, verse 1. I will lift up mine eyes unto the hills, from whence cometh my help.
See, that's the problem. Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, you look up to the hills for help. You look up to the government for help. You look up to Capitol Hill. You look up to the people above you for help. But what?
But my help cometh from Yahweh.
My help coming from who?
Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
Who made heaven and earth.
My help come from the Lord, not the hills. I look for the hills to help me. I look for the serpent. I look for the dragon to help. But my help come from the Lord who made the heaven and earth. And he made the heaven and earth for our sake. He made it all for us. So the thing that you're going to have to put in your chest, thing that you're going to have to focus on is the fact that if you don't fight for your kingdom, you'll never get it. If you don't fight for your culture, you'll never get it, and you're not going to be able to blame nobody because you fought for everything in your life that you have. You worked hard for everything in your life that you have. Now put that same energy toward your kingdom, your God, your nation, and your family, and you'll get it. All right? We got a question you said?
Yes, so just one question.
All right.
The brother asked for a general breakdown of Ecclesiasticus chapter 20, verse 16 and 17. I have it, sir.
Okay. Ecclesiasticus what?
Chapter 20, verse 16 and 17. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 20, verse 16. The fool saith, I have no friends. I have no thank for all of my good deeds, and they that eat my bread speak evil of me. Verse 17. How oft and of how many shall he be laughed to scorn? For he knoweth not aright what it is to have, and it is all one unto him as if he had it not.
Basically, it's saying only a dummy says, I have no friends, and I don't need friends. I don't need no help. I can do it all by myself. And that's what our people have been thinking for so long. I don't need help. I don't need nobody. I don't think this is a question. This is probably the precept to a class. If it ain't, if it ain't, then this goes along with exactly what we're talking about. Yeah, for a breakdown. Okay, yeah. This goes along with exactly what we're talking about. We have been fools for so long to think we don't need each other. Like we don't need the other tribes. Like we don't even need each other in this room. That's stupid. What's the next part say? And they that eat my bread speak evil of me. And the people that you help are speaking evil of you. That's what the people that you helping are the people that biting you in the back. That's stabbing you in the back. Go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Some people like the church pushes that like money, like everybody's gonna get it when you nobody's gonna be there when you fall.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It teach you to watch your back around your brothers. But who you not watching your back around? Your enemies. That's crazy. You watching your back around your brothers, but you're not watching your back around your enemies. Go ahead.
When he says, the fool saith, I have no friends, I have no thank for all of my good deeds, and they that eat of my bread speak evil of me. That's the counsel of a demon. And it's what a selfish man, like the rich man that walked past Lazarus, and when our king gave that parable, that's what he's telling himself to convince himself that he's not doing evil. He has to tell himself that the people that I should be helping, if I give it to them, all they're gonna say is I'm not doing enough.
Yep.
So why should I even help them at all? It's what they convince themselves to not have brotherhood.
Yep.
They they listen to the counsel of a demon.
Yep. A fool in his mind talks himself out of being a brother. That's what he's doing. He's like, you know what? I don't need to help them, and I don't need to be around them. All right.
There was some scoffing in there from I think Isaac may have. I think he created a name. He tried to call it your name and turn it into something different.
Oh yeah.
Another page.
That's cool.
There's a lot of scoffing.
Okay. We got another one.
Salagi, sir, but I thought it was kind of odd. Some brother, and you already spoke on it though. Some brother named he said the house of Naphtali.
The house.
Yeah,
That's deep.
I know. But he said that the Mexicans and the Hispanics are not Israelites. But you already addressed that, sir. So, yeah.
So, is he the house of Naphtali?
I'm gonna try to find it. We had a whole lot of comments today, sir.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder what he, where he from. How do you prove that you from Naphtali then? Break that down, Naphtali. You get the breakdown on that. How are you Naphtali then? Listen. Mexicans ain't your brothers, they mine though.
That's right.
Hispanics, Native Indians, they may not be your brothers, and that's cool. But they for damn sure my brother. For real. And listen, we ain't gotta be brothers. Christ told his mother and his brother that they wasn't his family. His mama was out there at camp. It was like, hey, Christ, your mother and your brother out there. Boy's like, shit, who is my mother and my brother? Those that do the will of my father is my mother and my brother. Y'all my mother and my brother. I ain't worried about her. I'll be over there when I get over there. I'm doing the work of my father. Mary was in the world. If Mary was so righteous that they try to make it, then she would have understood what Christ said when he said, I'm being about my father's business. She didn't understand it because she was in the world. Joseph was in the world. But hey.
It's Naphtali's new school of thought, the 12 tribes.
Wait. New school of thought?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we done. We done. We don't need to hear nothing else. We want to hear no new school. Listen, you know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about it, player. Hey, you keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. All right, with that, we're going to pass the class over to who? Who we passing over? Priest and Officer Topper. Give him a hand. That boy say the new school of thought. It's like, you know what? I had a good idea. Like, we should start teaching this. Go ahead, player. Do your thing.
We are the ISUPK, start out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother and sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. The book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10, means tenth in the Hebrew, ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, given to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like to give. Up and coming holy convocations. Salakia, it is, let's see. It's Passover.
Purim,
Salakia. Purim, the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month, Thursday, the 22nd February, and Friday, the 23rd of February 2024. You can find this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. All right, Salakia, remind Akim and Akwapian to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all blacks, boots, shirts, pants, headbands, and scarf. And that concludes security announcements.
With that, Imagine. Saul, we're going to turn face to east. Say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Go ahead.
Abanawa.
Shabbat Shemayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwaka. Taba'ah. Ratazayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Baratazar. Kawah. Hayah. Bashamayim. The Thunder Nawa. Lakam. Call. Yawam. Asalak Nawa. Kabawak Nawa. Kasalak Nawa. Kabawafyanawa. Wala'ah. Tabaya'ayanawa. Banasaya 1. Habal. Hawashayanawa. Mayan. Ra. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala.
Wahatha Para.
Wa'ata Para.
La'awalamyam.
Wa'awalamyam.
Aman.
Aman. In English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven.
which art in heaven.
Hallowed be thy name.
Hallowed be thy name.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy kingdom come.
Thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth,
In earth.
as it is in heaven.
As it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread. And forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. So we're going to do the courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel, Amadium Shabbat, Amadium Barak, Yajim Matah. So turn face to sisters. Give a courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel, Amadium Shabbat, Amadium Barak. Yajim Matah. Class dismissed. This young fruiting. You know what I'm talking about? They used to call me known, but they be dumb. Shaheem and all that on them. Yeah, boy. Everybody hungry. We still live?
I like a sequel. Y'all in the bleachers, I'm in here preaching. Don't want no features. You sweet margarita, but you ain't no leader. But you ain't no leader. Hell, I watch how she poke it out. Hand in the air, my soda just rolling. They leeching off me, cause they know I got motion. My swag come in flavor like which one she wore. My neck holding weight just like Repo, we towing. All these poor niggas, they looking, they notice. They know all of my boys that we itching, we towing. I came in that bitch up by 3 of my soldiers, but middle was season like football jersey. I'm dancing. Well, what we dispatching, but we far from average. I save all my cabbage, but show all my cabbage. My BBs, they dancing. 7-1, I'm so fancy. 7-1, I'm so fancy. 7-1, I'm so fancy. Just look how they watch and she poke it out. Damn with these hoes. Down with a pole, I'm talking about rockets. Down with these hoes. I down with my pole, but I'm talking about rockets. I wanna know who they gon' go to when they don't go. Bitch, I'm on top rope. She check out my neck and she know that bitch dance. Check out my pinky, it's gleaming, it's dancing. She look how I throw it out. I ain't hit her in over a week, but hell no, I ain't throw her out. She know I go way too deep. It's capping, yeah, that's a blessing now. Oh yeah, cologne on me, polygamy, TSC, but we gon' work it out. I cap a few, couple pal, twin bitches with some hair. But I'm brotherly, mingle for Timo. She say we so lovely. I love it, I must have been. She taking it over me. The truth taking it over me. Now y'all tell them, cut down. Man in the big going ham, I don't eat no damn ham. I keep going spam though. All these niggas talking tough, get them beast mode, hit them with that Rambo. Man, ain't even off the top. Nigga rapping off the block. All these niggas talking tough, but it's always before they get hot. 662. Nigga know what we do. My guns with me in the stool. TSP, Zell, what it do? Yeah, UPK, nigga, I salute. 669, we done prove that all you fuck nigga lame, legend ass boy ain't in the truth. Nigga, what the fuck? Nigga, I'm down with these hoes. Down with a pole, I'm talking about rockets. Down with these hoes. I down with my pole, but I'm talking about rockets. I wanna know who they gon' go to when they don't go. Bitch, I'm on top ropes. She check out my neck and she know that bitch dance.
ISUPK Florida cookout, the winners Warrior cookout, baby. It was all that and then some. I'll be down here for a few